Welcome back. With the 2024-2025 budget set to make its ascent to the Governor General's office before being passed ahead of the new fiscal year, July 1st, Attorney General Ryan Pinder is breaking down the legislation defining budget communications. Senator Pinder says the bills, ranging from value-added tax amendments to the 2024 Commercial Recreational Watercrafts Bill, are all expected to change the status quo. Senator Pinder detailed those bills.
Madam President, the Business License Amendment Bill. We passed a new Business License Act in the last year's budget. This amendment looks to provide cleanup and clarification in areas such as better defining when residential rental operations are exempted from the requirement of business license. Madam President, a Customs Management Amendment Bill prohibits ATM skimmer machines from being imported. Port Authority's Amendment Bill rebalanced the charging framework for jetties, groins, moorings, and abutments. Real Property Tax Amendment Bill amends provisions related to the enforcement and collection of real property taxes on property. The Road Traffic Amendment Bill, Madam President. This bill provides that automotive insurance cannot be canceled by the insurance company with less than 6 months on the policy. The Value-Added Tax Amendment Bill, Madam President. This sets out a number of reforms intended to ensure compliance with our VAT laws when it comes to real property and the transfer of real property again.
As for the other bills, Senator Pinder says they center around the needs of Bahamians, and in the case of the immigration bills, they will raise the threshold for investments.
Madam President, the Commercial Recreational Watercraft Amendment Bill provides that commercial recreational watercraft or for hire with streamlined registration and establishes that Bahamian citizens is a condition for the registration of your watercraft vessel for hire. The industry is reserved for Bahamians. Madam President, the Immigration Amendment Bill. This amends the permanent residence regime to provide that any person who has made an investment of $1 million in real estate or who's invested in a zero-coupon bond issued by the central bank for a minimum of 10 years is eligible for permanent residency. Madam President, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Amendment Bill. This concerns the provision of consular services, allowing for the use of couriers to deliver passports to Bahamians living abroad.
The rest of the bills focus on improving the ease of doing business and lowering barriers of entry in various industries. They include the Industries Encouragement Amendment Bill, the Agricultural Manufacturers Amendment Bill, the International Persons Landholding Amendment Bill, the Tariff Amendment Bill, and the Stamp Bill 2024. Police are reporting that they have captured this wanted suspect here on your screen, Christopher Hyler, also known as Juvie. We showed him last week. Hyler was wanted for questioning in connection to a recent attempted murder. Criminal detectives want to thank the public for your help in locating 22-year-old Hyler. In the meantime, police seeking the public's help in tracking down 56-year-old Troy Saunders, who is wanted for questioning in relation to threats of death, which the police take very seriously. Saunders' last known address is Caroline Estates. In other crime news, 4 juveniles between the ages of 15 and 17 arrested in connection with an armed robbery which occurred Tuesday night. Reports indicate that around 10:15 p.m., a 41-year-old man was in the area of Blue Hill Road and Bahama Avenue, about 2 blocks away from murder number 54 that took place on the corner of Market Street and Bahama Avenue. Police say the victim was approached by the teenagers, one of whom had a gun. The teens robbed the victim of an undetermined amount of cash and personal items, and as they tried to flee the area, they were apprehended by the police. Officers recovered from the suspects the stolen cash and personal items, along with an imitation firearm. A 21-year-old man of Kennedy Subdivision is in police custody after he was found in possession of a quantity of ammunition on Tuesday. This was around 11 p.m. Tuesday night. Officers on Mobile Division Patrol were acting on information when they made the arrest on Gilbert Street after a search of the suspect. And on Grand Bahama, 3 men, ages 40, 35, and 33 years old, are in police custody after they were found in possession of 3 pistols Tuesday evening. Police say around 9:50 p.m., officers attached to the Grand Bahama Anti-Gang and Firearms Task Force Unit conducted a routine stop and search of a vehicle in Pinders Point, where they discovered the weapons and subsequently arrested the 3 men. The Bahamas Olympic trials began this afternoon at the original Thomas A. Robinson Stadium with field events. They continue this evening with track events that began at 5 p.m. with the heats of the 100 meters. They will run until about 9:40 p.m. tonight when they stage the men and women's 100-meter finals. Competition resumes on Thursday at 4 p.m. with the long jump and other field events, and they will move into the track events with the 200 meters and the 400-meter finals on Thursday. On Friday, they will have the final day of competition, which will feature the 200-meter finals, 4x4s, 4x1 relays. The Summer Olympic Games, they are set for Paris, France, beginning July 26th. And that'll do it for your JCN Evening News. Once again, I'm Jerino Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.